Hey guys, it's John Furno. I wanted to make a video today about my experience on Clash of Clans. Specifically, my journey to create one of the best clans in the world in the game, my experience getting there, and how it finally fell apart, and maybe some things you can learn from it if you want to be your own clan leader, some problems in the game. And I first just want to start out with talking about the backstory. The backstory for me as a player is I used to be in a clan called Clan of Gods. It became inactive, so I was like, okay. I think I was Town Hall 13 at the time. I was like, what do I do? Do I join another clan? Which I did. I did join, but I didn't really feel a part there, you know? And I'm like, why not? Me and my friend just created a clan, right? My goals for the time was to receive consistent donations, war, CWL, clan games, and maybe even reach Master League 3 in CWL, although that would take a while, right? But those were my initial goals. Not too hard, but they were still going to take maybe even years to achieve. Now, I didn't think I was going to have any success with this clan. The clan was called RYZERGLADE, and I didn't think I was going to have any success, but me and my friend just started inviting players. Eventually, well, it's just me, right? And eventually, I realized that these invites are really overpowered. Like, I could invite so many players and get so many people to join my clan, and within like a month, I already had enough to do 30v30 CWL, you know? So we were already going from like gold to Crystal League right away in the first month. Now, my plan to grow the clan was essentially this. I would invite players, let's say we started at Town Hall 9 or 8, and then once we had 50 Town Hall 8s, let's say, I'd slowly kick the Town Hall 8s to get to Town Hall 9. Once there's too many Town Hall 9s, I kick the Town Hall 9s to get all Town Hall 10s, and rinse and repeat. That was kind of my plan in mind, although it didn't really result in me kicking players. It was more just players losing or getting kicked because they broke a rule or something. Maybe they went inactive. And that's how it was at the start. Essentially, I didn't really have to kick players for no reason. I could just rely on them doing something wrong to be able to kick them and to improve my clan. And at this level, when I'm inviting Town Hall 11s, 12s, 13s, even 14s, you can still get a lot of invites and a lot of players to join, right? Eventually, my clan reaches all these goals. I get all my donations, and I'm satisfied with my clan. Although, for me as a leader, I want to keep on improving, right? I've got this amazing clan that I can keep on building upon. Now, this time it was new goals. It was potentially Master League 1, Legend League and Raid Weekend. For me specifically, it was 6,000 trophies, which I did reach eventually. And then also, you could say a 10 war win streak, and finally finding 50 good active players. Now, at the time, I may have had 50 active players, but I didn't have 50 good active players, meaning there were players in my clan maybe potentially using E-Dregs who were stubborn to use a different army, and players that just weren't able to get good enough to improve the clan anymore. So this was a big problem for me. And another big goal for me at the time was hitting 50,000 clan points, which was just amazing. I mean, I was 15 at the time, getting 50,000 clan points. That is kind of insane, right? Doing it all by myself, right? So eventually, I need a plan, right? I need a plan to get 50 active players instead of just 50 players. I thought about this for a very long time, probably a month, and I came up with some sort of tier system. Some way that I can rank the players in my clan to be able to decide if they're bad and I should get rid of them, and if they're good and they should stay. Now, eventually, this came to be the D tier war, or some people call it the redemption war, right? Just to make them not sound as bad. And essentially what I did was I took the bottom 3 players in each war, and I put them in the D tier on my Google Doc, and after 5 wars, I'd have 15 players. In this 15v15 war, special war, I would basically kick the players that did badly and get new players with my invites. Now, the problem at this time in Clash of Clans was that my clan was getting really good. So we had like 14s, 15s, and 16s now, right? And for my clan to improve, I'm inviting Town Hall 15s and 16s. Now, in the past, I'd only have to do a few hundred invites, right? But this changed, and there was one very crucial update that really made it harder for me to invite. And that was the ability to mute your invites if you don't want to see them. Now, this was a big problem for me as clan leader, because essentially what I'm doing is per, let's say, 10 invites, only 3 players actually see these invites. So I'm only getting a 30% efficiency rating. And what this meant was at this time, I had to start doing a lot more invites than usual. Now, it wasn't my first time doing 1,000 invites, but I started doing 1,000 invites like almost like multiple times a week. And each time was extremely long. Like we're talking over an hour. And it wasn't even because of players not seeing the invites that it took longer. It's because I needed to make sure I was choosing the right players to invite. It's not just inviting Town Hall 15s and 16s and saying, oh, that's a day, right? It's not that easy. No, you have to make sure they have donations, troops received, and a high level. So for me, Town Hall 15 would be minimum level 215 to invite them, and Town Hall 16 would be a minimum level of 220, which means that I only am inviting like maybe 30% of the Town Hall 15s and 16s I'm actually going through in these lists of a bunch of clans, because that's the most efficient way I've been doing from the start. Now, with my invites, I also use multiple filters, such as the 3 badges thing for your clan, and I rotated through them. I also rotated through the first 10 letters of the alphabet, switching between A to all the way to J or something, and doing 100 invites on each letter, ideally, so that I wouldn't get the same clans each time I'm inviting, right? And this strategy somewhat worked. It was much more difficult to get players, but eventually we kept on improving, right? We hit 51,000 clan points, 52,000 clan points, and then eventually we hit top 1,000 in the world at one point. And this is amazing, right? I was in one of the best spots for my clan, but in doing so, what I've basically done now is I've made a strict routine where I'm basically putting people at risk like every 2 weeks with these D-tier wars / redemption wars, right? And each 2 weeks, people feel like they have to perform to be in my clan. And not only that, CWL is mandatory, so I wanted players to participate in Clan War League, and there was a big problem with that because one player was going on to vacation on a cruise, and I didn't want him to miss those CWL attacks because he was missing 3 days, right? So this caused a lot of turmoil. And eventually I just told him to leave because, I mean, he was missing 3 days in CWL and it was mandatory. So I said, you can come back if you want after your vacation, but it's probably not best to stay in the clan, right? So this was interesting, and players started to lose loyalty to me and to the clan because they were dissatisfied with the leadership of my it was pretty ruthless, right? Just trying to invite players, getting new, better players into the clan. So eventually, players got dissatisfied. And this is finally my downfall. My downfall was creating a Discord server. So I think this was probably 4 months ago or something. My clan decided, or it was probably less months, like 3 months ago, my clan was like, okay, let's start a Discord server. Now at the time, I knew that my clan was only going to be successful if I made sure they didn't have any freedoms, meaning that they can't leave my clan so that they can see a clan that's better than them and has more freedoms, because at the moment my clan is very strict, right? So I don't really want them to have freedoms. But what am I supposed to say? They want to create a Discord server, and there's nothing really for me to prevent them from doing that. And at the time, I didn't think it was that harmful. The one thing I overlooked, though, was the direct messages. When I created someone in my clan created a Discord server, his name was Gifts and Given, then he gave the server to me to use because he didn't want to take care of it, right? So basically what's happening is players are able to communicate outside of my knowledge in the clan chat, which is a big problem. Now one day, just maybe last week, one of my clanmates had enough of my clan, right? He was a co-leader. He was probably one of the best players in my clan, right? And he decided to team up with another player that was dissatisfied of my clan, named 26, and he was in a different clan. So he decided, okay, let's try to recruit a bunch of players from my clan, this Gifts and Giving kid, the co-leader, and take them to 26's clan, right? So when the morning came, essentially everyone started leaving. Or not everyone, but like 10 players. And these 10 players were 4 co-leaders and like 5 elders and a couple members. But these players were in my clan for a very long time. And it basically means that I was actually low in players at this point, right? I just did a D tier war, and I kicked out 6 players. I know that sounds like a lot, but we were at 48, went down to 42. At this point, though, it was like basically I was almost done. I almost had 50 active good players. I was extremely close to reaching my goal. Now, these players that I kicked weren't that great. I mean, they were like Wtreigle players, and they could barely know how to touch the game, right? But this also, was a little nerve-wracking for players that didn't want to get kicked in the future, even though I tried not to kick players who were loyal to the clan, even if they were bad, right? I tried to work on them. So what happened was something called a chain reaction. Players started leaving. Let's say there was maybe 5 players that started leaving. But this caused, or it was probably like 10 players. 10 players in the Discord got invited by Gifts and Given to join a different clan. And what this meant was that players in my clan who weren't in the Discord server saw a bunch of these players leaving, and they thought, okay, it's time for me to go too, right? And I started at 42 members at the start of, let's say, 24 hours. And by the end of 24 hours, I was down to like 32. Okay, well, it was 10. But then the only reason I only went down to 32 is because I did 1,000 invites like 2 days in a row. So to combat them leaving. So really, it was probably more like 15 players left in total. But all my good players are gone, essentially. There's a couple players who are still there. But it's basically a hollow clan now, right? It still has maybe 45,000 clan points. But I don't even have a co-leader left, right? Barely have any elders. Well, I have maybe a few elders, maybe like a dozen, and all of them are basically members or new players. And essentially what this means is that my clan is cooked. And I thought that, I could possibly do 1,000 invites. My plan was to do 1,000 invites every day. And I did that for like 5 days in a row. 5 days in a row, did 1,000 invites. And what happened was that my player count barely went up. It went from like 32, and right now it's still at 32 somehow. So really it's not went up at all because, players are still leaving from this chain reaction that happened 5 days ago. And I can't even do raid weekend anymore because I don't have enough players. We're barely above 5,000 trophies. And if I signed up with 32 players, we just lose, right? Same thing. Last war, we just lost because our clan is hollow. We barely have any players. And the new players I have are obviously members that I've never seen before, and all the loyal players are gone. Now, the big problem for me of getting a clan back would be the amount of time, right? As I said earlier, this Clash of Clans thing with them giving players the ability to mute invites is really killing my clan. I can't invite players, and the players that do join, a lot of the Town Hall 15s and 16s, they don't want to be in my clan anymore, and they just leave, right? Because the clan's hollow, right? There's not really many players there, and there's a lot of hoppers I notice now. And it wasn't like I was used to. Invites just don't work as easily, and sadly, it's probably just best for me to end the clan, just because. Let's say I can get my clan back in 6 months, right? I get my clan back in 6 months. I'm gonna be in grade 11, so it doesn't really make sense for me to, take over an hour each day just to do 1,000 invites, just to get my clan to a reasonable level that's stable and probably not even as good as it used to be, right? And using those 6 months, that's like, what is that? Like 180 hours, 100, or probably more than that, because it takes more than an hour to do 1,000 invites. So it's just not worth it for me. And even if I get back to the levels I was at, a lot of these players are just, new players. And honestly, I could use those 6 months to just focus on things outside of Clash of Clans. And I can also, in Clash of Clans, use this time to focus on CWL and wars. And that's my goal. My goal for the future is to get better at Clash of Clans. I mean, right now, I was still a really good player. Like, if I had to be brutally honest, I was probably the best player in my clan. And there was never a single player that ever joined that was better than me, if I can say that. There's players that came close, but I think I can really, compete in Champs League. I'm almost a max Town Hall 16. I maxed my walls out yesterday. And for the future of my clan, I'm basically going to kick every player. Because the thing is, I was thinking about stopping my clan in September when school started again, and those plans got interrupted. I was going to give it to one of my co-leaders, right, because they might have a better chance of keeping the clan up. But as I realized, I'm the only one that's can keep the clan up anymore, and as soon as I go, everyone goes. And no one's willing to invite on my clan. No one knows how to do 1,000 invites. I mean, it takes years of experience to know how to keep your mental going while you do these 1,000 invites. It's extremely grueling. It's extremely grueling work, right? Even if you were paid like minimum wage, I doubt most people would even consider that as a job. It is a grueling work. It is super boring doing these 1,000 invites. And I wouldn't wish anyone in my clan to have the responsibilities of trying to keep the clan up, because there's no one left. There's no one left that's loyal to the clan, really. There's a couple, as I said, and I'll find a new clan in the future, right? Now, what have I learned from this experience? Well, I've learned to take at least, or to stay loyal to the people who are in your clan who are good. Like, I think you really need to be nice, and you need to be able to keep players that are really like Town Hall 15 and Town Hall 16s for me, right? And I really need to treat them well, and maybe even make exceptions for them if they can't play the game, right? Just because the chances of me finding a player that's just as good is really hard, right? I have to do like 10,000 invites because 1 in 10... Literally 1 in 1,000 players join out of those 1,000 invites. So I might get 1 player per day doing this. And that's just crazy, right? And that's barely keeping up with the players that are leaving, right? Because the clan's hollow. So yeah, it's a really interesting experience though. I mean, my clan has taught me a lot. I think I've I don't know if it's helped me in real life. It's really hard to tell if I've gained any confidence just by talking in the Clash of Clans chat to all my members. I think it might have, but it's really hard to tell. I think it's important to know when you've reached a limit, and to know when you shouldn't be able to push those boundaries any further because the time is just not worth it for you. And that's something interesting that I've learned from the Clash of Clans, making a clan. And I'd like to say that I'm really thankful for this. It's been over 3 years. I started the clan in June of 2021. It's now July 19th, 2024. And I've had a great experience with my clan, even though the invites are growing. And if I had the opportunity to do it again, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend being a leader in Clash of Clans at the state it is right now. It's not fun, right? If you want to have fun in Clash of Clans, do not become a leader. That's all I'm going to say. Now, thank you for listening. I hope that you can forgive me if I kicked you out of my clan, because it's been a great ride, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I know not everyone likes me, but I don't care, right? It doesn't matter. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you learned something if you want to become a leader in the future, and see you guys next time.